If you're looking for mods where you can add in amber lighting, not make any major modifications, and also keep a sleek look when it comes to your 2019 or newer Silverado 1500, this Aerocab marker light in textured black is a great solution for you. Now this is a great choice for the Silverado owner who needs amber lighting for their work truck or just wants a source of amber lighting to stay safer and more noticed in inclement weather conditions, but doesn't want the bulkier lighting of a traditional solution and also doesn't want to modify or make any big changes to their truck. This is also a super low profile option to add accessory lighting, and it keeps a simpler aesthetic while maintaining a bright output, offering a good balance of function and style for your specific application. Now I do want to mention that the fitment here does exclude the Trail Boss and ZR2 models, so just keep that in mind when you're checking this mod out. Now this features a brow design for the top of the windshield, spans the width of the windshield, and consists of a low profile build to house this strip of lighting, keeping the aesthetic very sleek and non-intrusive to the build. Now mounted on the housing is this slim strip of lighting containing amber LED clusters that also span the width of this brow. Now with the black housing, when off, it's very inconspicuous and blends very well with the truck, adding a sporty or even off-road style look, but when they're on, the bright amber LEDs offer a very high output, especially being noticeable in tough weather conditions such as fog, dust, rain, and even snow. Now the LEDs are also very efficient in their design with a low energy draw, which creates an incredibly long lifespan, so you can enjoy this mod for years to come. Now this kit is tough enough to take some abuse on and off-road, made of a Duraflex 2000 TPO material, which is essentially just a rigid and resilient molded plastic material. Now the light also has more of a rubbery plastic housing that's sealed to protect the LEDs inside, also durable against kick-up or anything that may come in contact with it. The housing includes a matte black textured finish here, which is very similar to other OE style plastics, but because of the material, you are able to paint this with, of course, the right prep and primer process. Now the install is also fairly easy. It does include automotive grade 3M tape on the back here as well as on the light strip. You do get all of the extended leads and wires in the kit, and they do have some sheathing on them for some additional protection, and everything like the rubber gasket and additional hardware is included in the kit for a direct fit on your truck. I do want to mention that obviously these do come with leads, so you will have to do a little bit of wiring with this, but it's very simple and we'll show you how to do that in just a minute.
Now this kit here is about $350,
which is a pricier solution for amber lighting, but for good reason. Now compared to other choices, this is very sleek, it's subtle, and very functional. And while other choices may be stylish, this is slimmer than a lot of the other choices. It's specific to the Silverado, and it requires much less work and modification compared to other solutions. Now it's a very straightforward mod and it has an easy install to it if you don't want anything too complicated, and again, want to keep it to the simple side when adding amber lighting into your Silverado's build, making it a fantastic pick. Installing this is a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about an hour or so to get the job done with some fairly basic hand tools. As I said, there is wiring included, but it's nothing intimidating, so I'm going to hand it over to one of our installers here so they can show you a detailed breakdown process of how this gets onto the Silverado. So that wraps it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
For this install, you need cleaning spray, a rag, pair of scissors, wire strippers, wire crimpers, wire connectors, and the supplied alcohol prep pad. All right, today we're going to be installing an Aerocab marker light on our Silverado, so let's get started. All right, so before we get this onto our truck, we just need to prepare it a little bit. We're going to start by grabbing the end of our wire and feeding it through our hole in the end here. We just need to get that through so we can attach our light to our trim piece here. We're just going to simply start all the wires, feed them through, and then pull all the slack through. You can see all of our slack is pulled through. Now, off camera, I already prepped this. You want to take one of your alcohol preps and just wipe on the surface here where your double-sided tape is going to go. Already did that and let it dry, just so we have to wait for it to dry. But we're going to peel the backing on our double-sided tape here. Just going to peel a little bit to get it started. Now this does fit pretty flush end to end, as you can see. So we're just going to start down here, get it started, and just work our way across, peeling the backing as we go. Push that on nice and tight all the way across. Just let that sit for a minute and let that cure. Now we're gonna pull back our sheathing also. You can actually pull it off. What we're gonna need to do is actually feed our wire up through this tube here. This tube is what's gonna run down the windshield and make it secure so it stays nice and hidden. Now before we do run our wires through that, I did trim ours down. You just wanna lay it on your windshield on the side here where it's gonna go. And I just ran from the top to about this trim piece and just cut it with a pair of scissors. Now we can run our wire through. So now we're gonna grab the ends of our wires and do have them twisted together. We're just gonna feed it through. All right, pull all of our slack through. Then we can deal with the extra after we get this installed onto the truck. So as you can see, you have double-sided tape on the bottom. I have a little bit of the edges peeled up so we can push this down and then peel as we go. So we have a side flipped up on all 4 pieces. We're just gonna align it on the front of our roof here. Get the edges lined up. It also does help if you have a buddy just to help line up the other side. But we're just gonna get this in place. I'm gonna peel up this corner here and start working our way on the front. Now I'm gonna go around to the other side, make sure that's nice and secure, and I can go ahead and pull this strip down here so we can get that side down. All right, I also did want to mention before I get too further, I did go ahead and clean our roof. So you want to take some cleaning solution and a rag, clean that off, and take an alcohol prep pad and prep the surface to make sure you get a good stick with that double-sided tape. Now we're just gonna continue on, line up all of our edges, and peel this middle strip. Push that down, and we can go back and get the rest of our double-sided tape. We have 1 strip here and 1 strip going across the top. Just make sure your wiring stays tucked onto the side. Push that down, and go back on the other side and pull the last piece off. Now we're gonna move on to the side of our windshield here where we have our double-sided sleeve that's gonna run down the side to hide the wiring. Now I did take a little bit of our sheathing and cut it short up here just to clean it up a little bit to hide the wires going from the trim to the windshield. We're gonna peel the double-sided backing off of our double-sided tape. You just wanna also make sure that the windshield is clean and prepped also, just like you did with the roof. We're gonna get this started, top of our windshield here, just work our way down. You see I ran it down to pretty much this trim piece here. You can actually tuck it up under. If you need to, get a trim piece and just pop this off, or you can pull it off. We're just gonna tuck that behind, open our hood, and continue our wiring. Just get that nice and hidden. Reinstall that back in place. So as you can see, I have our wire here. I'm resheathing it. It just simply pushes back in. You can just slide it down and through. Now we're gonna run ours to our driver's side headlight first and wire it up there. Now since this does have turn signals in it, we are gonna need to run 1 wire over to the passenger side, but that's simple to do. We're just gonna get this tucked in here. You can secure it with zip ties if you want, or just tuck it up out of the way. Just make sure it's out of the way of the hood strut or anything moving. But we're just gonna run it here, leave it loose. We need to add some spade connectors to connect it to our headlight connector down the bottom. So now we're gonna connect our wiring to our headlight. Now how we're gonna connect it is we have spade connectors with a T-tap. T-tap simply just clamps over the wire, and the spade connector will go in the back, like so. Now we're gonna have 3 wires on this side, so we're gonna grab our brown, black, and yellow. Our green will go to the passenger side for the turn signal. Now we're gonna reach down and grab the connector for your headlight that's down this hole. It's pretty hard to see. You're just gonna find it, find a red locking tab, and then push down and release. As you can see, I already have our T-taps installed on our harness here. So we're just gonna cut this wire short, just make sure you have enough slack to go down to the back of the headlight. Cut these, toss away the extra, grab your wire strippers and strip all these back. We're gonna install spade connectors on all of them. Get our wire, spade connector, and wire crimpers. Crimp these down. Now your yellow will be your turn signal for this side, and then it's basically just power and ground for the parking light for the other 2. All right, Set those aside. We'll grab our harness and pull that up. So I have my little cheat sheet here just to help remember the wiring, but we have our black. So our black is gonna go to our black wire here. That's gonna be our ground. Now for our turn signal, that's going to be pin 7 on our harness here, and that's gonna be a blue and white wire, which is this one. So for turn signal will be our yellow wire. And then for our power for our marker lights, that is violet and green, or pin 5 on the connector. Plug that in. Now you can go ahead and run more sheathing down if you want, just to make a little cleaner setup. We're just gonna put ours down here, plug it back into our headlight, and continue across to the passenger side. All right, so now I threw the sheathing over our green wire and we're gonna run it across. Now you can secure this however you want. We're just gonna tuck ours under our trim and just work our way across. Just gonna run it down to our headlight. All right, so now we're gonna run over to our passenger side, pull up our headlight connector. Now this one doesn't have enough slack, so it's pretty hard to see, but it's also gonna be pin 7, same thing as the other side, just different color wire. This is gonna be a green and violet. So I'm gonna plug our spade connector that we already put on, and then we can go ahead and plug our headlight back in, do a function test, make sure everything's working, and then you're all set to go. And that wraps up our install of our AeroCab marker light, textured black for our 2019 and newer Silverado 1500, excluding the Trail Boss and ZR2. And remember, for everything Silverado, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.